First of all, Your Excellency Ambassador, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to have the talks with young ambassadors. And secondly, I would like to introduce myself just a little bit. I'm a young European ambassador and a recent graduate of the College of Europe, and I'm specialized in EU's international relations and diplomacy. And while doing my studies, I wrote 2 master's degrees in EU-Armenia relations. In this context, I'm interested to know your opinion on the EU-Armenia relations.
Thank you so much. Interesting that you was in the College of Europe. I think this is a great place to study. What can I say? We have, I think we have achieved a milestone. It took us a certain while, but now we have the comprehensive and enhanced partnership agreement in full ratification, so it entered into force, which opens more opportunities. I would say we have good relations. They were really developing very positively. The European Union wants to support the reform process in Armenia. I think there was progress done. I'm deeply convinced of it. And actually now we have to really speed up, because last year was an extremely difficult period, both to the COVID pandemic, but also to the war and the domestic situation afterwards. We stand ready to continue this and really to work in all areas. We have an interest to support Armenia to have a social and economic recovery for the benefit of all citizens. I think this is our ultimate goal. And in the same time, you need to continue the reform process you already started, and we stand ready to continue to cooperate on this.
All right, thank you for your answer. I just have a follow-up question. So what do you think how the ordinary people, citizens here in Armenia would be impacted after the full ratification of the agreement? And especially, what about the young people? What kind of benefits do you think that they can have in this process?
I'm deeply convinced that when we cooperate in the field of small and medium-sized companies, and we do it, when we cooperate in the field of green agriculture, when we have a project which is called EU for Sevan, where we try together to protect the Lake Sevan. This is for the people. This is really, and this they can feel. I would say we have joint problem right now. Many Armenians are still in a status of shock. So perhaps it is not the moment that they want to know that we are supporting, let's say, certain tourist companies in Tavush or in Chirac. But in the end, what we are doing is always aimed to be for the benefit of the people. There are different layers. Also, if you do the reform process, like we work on the budget support for the justice reform, this means in the end a clear fight against corruption, a clear development of the judiciary system. This is in the interest of the people. You do not see it. If you are not going into a court case, you don't see it. If we are supporting small companies in rural areas, I think people can get it. When we are giving humanitarian assistance like we did during the COVID pandemic, but also now after the war, for people who need it, vulnerable groups, they feel it, they see what they get. So it is always different layers. I think we have a policy dialogue, we have really more and more cooperation in different sectors, and youth is especially important because you are the future of your country. So what we do is we are supporting, let's say, reforms in the area of education. I hope soon to see the final education strategy. This was postponed a bit due to the situation. But there we stand ready to support. We are within the European Union supporting partnerships among universities and with universities in the European Union. We are giving scholarships. Erasmus Plus is a great program. We have the European School in Tbilisi, which is also open for all 6 Eastern Partnership countries, and it is great to see people there. We have other projects where people can have experience via a visitors program, for example, of the European Parliament, which gives certain people the possibility to get connected and information about EU institutions. And we have naturally the big program EU for Youth, where we have already implemented quite a lot of programs. We will have 2 additional coming, because I'm deeply convinced that young people, you are the driving force to develop the future of your country. I'm also keen to get the information and also the opinion. I love also to have a discussion on certain things, and I want to give young people the access to education, to jobs, and also to make a possibility for the own business. And there we are very strong in the tech sector, whether you take the TUMO Convergency Center, the School 42, but we also have other things where we have we boost startups, yeah, we give knowledge, but we also give grants, not to everybody, but there are possibilities, and this is meant to give young people the opportunity to live their dream.
Well, thank you. Your words addressed to young people are quite inspiring, and I, from my own experience, can confirm what you said, because I have been a beneficiary of European Union's Jean Monnet scholarship, and it gave me an opportunity to go to study in Europe in different countries. And then, of course, I'm positive that I will bring all the positive mindset, ways of thinking here to better my own community. And in this context, yeah, I should say that I quite agree with you, because the EU gives a lot of opportunities to young people, and I believe that it's quite inspiring, because as you said, we are the future and we are the one who are gonna build a better country. So my question would be in the context of CEPA agreement. It's not a secret that here in Armenia we are living in quite challenging times. And in these circumstances, what do you think, what can be the potential challenges for the EU-Armenia relations?
Well, a challenge would be if suddenly there would be no interest to continue the reform process anymore, or if there is a total change. As you see, in order to develop relations, it's always important to have a reliable and stable partnership. So that's what we hope. We hope for the future. We all lived the same challenge. COVID is, and it is not yet over. It is our common challenge, but I think also we learned a lot. We learned that we are stronger when we are working together, and it is really, we now celebrated 1 year of this Team Europe idea. And this works perfectly here. We have shown it during the pandemic, and we also now continue to do it to help with the recovery, which means EU and member states. And we take the experience and the knowledge and also the funding from the member states and do it together. This is very important. But naturally, we live with the interest of our partner countries. So we would expect a co-ownership for everything we are doing. And that means as long as Armenia, the Armenian citizen and an Armenian government and the civil society are interested to continue cooperation with us, it will happen.
Thank you for your answer. As I mentioned, I'm strongly interested in EU-Armenia relations, and the new CEPA agreement, at least it seems to me, opens a wide range of prospects of cooperation. However, the new agreement does not include a free trade article between EU and Armenia. And as we know, one of the EU's powers in the world is the free trade with its partner countries. So what would you say in this regard? Do you think that it can be a potential challenge for the development of the relations?
I'm always thinking that you have to use the full potential of the relations, really to go every avenue. We are having a strong cooperation in trade. I think it is important that Armenia comes nearer to the European legislation and also European standards. We are working on this. So it is naturally the decision of Armenia how far they want to go, but let's say within the system we have now, we have quite a lot of potential to extend our also trade relations, to give Armenian companies the possibility to export to the European Union. We still have the GSP Plus, which will run out at a certain stage because you do a great job, so you are now a middle income country. But you see, what is really the advantage of CEPA is that we have a dialogue on all these questions. So there is a close cooperation. We just had the trade dialogue, and there you talk about all the difficulties, and you also speak about the standards and necessities. For example, my favorite are phytosanitary standards, yeah, for food exports. So there is already potential. Let's fulfill really 100% of the possibilities, and then we will go a step further, I would propose.
All right, I thank you for your optimism, and me as an individual and a citizen of Armenia, I share your optimism, and hopefully we can reach our most potential of cooperation, and then we will see what will happen next. All right, I thank you for this interview. I guess that was my last question, and I want to thank you again for this opportunity.